What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Slingshots and Shenanigans. Today, we're going to go from this to this to this. If you're into build and shoot videos, this is gonna be a killer. Alrighty, for those of you who watched the last video, you remember me finding a pretty special fork on the trail. Well, we're back here. Handy saw. And we're gonna cut this bad boy out. Let me show you before we get to cut. There we are. That's birch. Already been damaged. Really pretty neat. Really nice, fairly symmetrical. It's got a little weeble wobble in it, but we can work that out. And it's still green, so there's plenty of opportunity for steam bending. That's pretty close to 4 inches already. See you in the shop. Here's our stick after it's been drying a bit. Those of you who've been watching this channel for a long time remember a Slingshot that kind of got this channel started. And it was a birch fork with teak tips. And it was a spring rabbit hunt, and I got 3 rabbits. And the footage came out really, really good. This fork reminds me very much of that one, so I'm going to do it in a very similar fashion, complete with the teak caps and all. Okay, there's our stick. We have our saw. The coolest thing about these saws is how efficient they are. As you can see, it's mostly like one stroke. Done there, one there, done. Japanese draw saws are the jam. We got our birch fork. We'll knock down this nub. We'll cut it down till 4 inches from here to here, which, judging by my grip, is about where my fingers are. And we'll shape out a handle. Stay tuned. Take a little out of here. See how it goes. As you can see, I've got a bunch to remove here and none to remove here. So I'm going to take this back, this branch. I'm going to do my best to follow the contours of this branch. Level this out a bit. And yeah, get us a slingshot. Oh, we got a fucking fork, don't we, boys? Ugly as shit. This is a bit of a bow maker's trick. Heat applied to the area where you want to bend over time and tension will give you the bend that you want. And if the old bow maker adages hold true, you want to put about a 10 to 15% more bend into this because there's a little bit of bounce back. Wood fibers have a bit of memory and they'll recover. And then I'm just going to sit here and hold this until she cools off. But it should. I'm just eyeballing it, but it should match this pretty good. Whew, she's good and toasty. That's where we're at. This is the side that I just bent. It was up kind of this angle. As you can see, it's much more symmetrical now. Bent her out. It does have a little bit of a layback. But this slingshot is kind of inspired by the one that started this channel. Anyway, it started the slingshot portion of this channel. Check out this video clip right here from an old one, like 4 or 5 years ago, hunting spring snowshoe hares with a birch natural with a layback like this in the handle. Teak tips, teak butt cap, and man, I'm shooting lights out in this one. Here's a couple of clips. Today we're hunting wabbits. It's a birch fork. It's got teak caps on it. All right. Yeah. Spring bunny. Shot to the dome. Got him. Couple of spring rabbits. Slingshot. That's a birch fork with teak caps. All right. The game plan is to thin this out just a little bit. Lop it off here, do something kind of organic with the bottom of the handle. All right, I don't know if it's going to be a straight cut or what, or an angled cut, but I'm going to put some teak on here. I'm going to put some teak caps on here, and then we're going to have a slingshot very, very similar to the one that really kicked off the rabbit hunting portion of this channel, which kind of built the whole like Slingshot following. Like that was the first one. I think it's like 107,000 views. It's been out there for several years, and yeah, it's kind of the one. When I was filming it, I was like, oh, this is gonna hit hard, and sure enough, it did. Yeah, and it's been Slingshot since. Anyhow, one more look. That is a natural birch frame from a stick you watch me harvest. You watch me spot it in another video. And yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna hit this with a little more sandpaper, bring this down, put a cap on it. I really like the way that it's flared out, so I'm not gonna make it too much skinnier. I may just lop it off at an interesting angle. It doesn't need to be exactly the same. My style has developed a little bit. Let's check it out, see how this thing turns out. I know you're thinking, like, where do you get teak? I don't know how well you can see that. That is a Sturm spear gun, 110 centimeter model. I make spear guns. You make spear guns out of teak. As you can see, I got a pile of them here. There's more over here. There's a bunch over there. I think I got 10 or 12 in the works. And yeah, one of the byproducts of making stuff out of teak is teak scraps. That's where they're going. As you can see, this is clearly an offcut from a teak spear gun. Like, there's the shaft channel right there. And we're gonna knock this off. We're gonna put a slab here, put a slab here, slab there. Make it pretty. Take it right back to the old school. The reason I'm remaking this frame, or at least similar to the one that I originally got all those bunnies with, is because I let it get loaned out to a friend of a friend kind of deal, and I never got it back. Somebody's got a really nice Slingshot, and I don't know him. I can't track him down, and really it's a stick. I'm not going to get all salty about it. If a stick costs you a friend, it's probably a good investment, you know what I mean? Anyhow, yeah, so we're remaking it, because I don't have that one. But my style's changed up a little bit. Like, this is different, you know? Better, I dare say. But yeah, look at the butt crack in that. I don't know if I'm going to fill that or just run my band around it. I don't know. Like, run my band groove. I'm sure it won't make any difference. It might actually be a good reference point for holding. I'll play with it and see. I'll let you know. material. Look at that. Look at that. It's a proper butt cap. Okay. Checking in. As you can see, I got teak slabs glued to the top. Already shaped out the butt. Putting the ends on. Well, those are maybe a touch over an 1/8 inch. It's all kind of eyeballed. I'll level them up later. I'm just going to trim these off on the bandsaw and then sand them flush. Then there's a lot of sanding. I know that's everybody's favorite part. There we are, trimmed up. All right, so at this point we've got a very nice birch natural with teak caps, butt cap, tip overlays, reminiscent of the Slingshot that got this channel jumping. And all that is left is sanding. I'm gonna do 100, 120, 150, 220 twice. I'll get it wet in between. Then I'll do 320. Then I'll get it wet, and then I'll do 400. This is gonna be awesome. Welcome to my Only Sands page. We're gonna start rough. 100 grit. All right, we're back. 220, just got it wet, let it dry out. I've got quite a lot of sanding to do still. There's a lot of areas that I still need to work on, so I circle those. There's one here, one here. As you can see, I got a pencil there, a pencil mark there. We're gonna do here too. I just circle stuff with a pencil, that way it doesn't slip my mind. But once you get it wet at 220, the grain really raises up and you can see where your rough spots are. And there's enough of them here to where I may need to go back and hit it with 180 again. Yeah, I definitely will. Hit it with 180 and then go back to 220. All right, we went back, we hit it with 180 until we rubbed out all... Damn it! Found a spot. It's always like that. There's always a spot. Just when you think you're done sanding, there's more sanding to do. I'll check back in. Alrighty, we're back again. I've sanded out our flawed spot. There's our frame. As you can see, that little bend did a beautiful job of making her much more symmetrical. Really pleased with the way that went down. A bit of heat. You can bend a lot of different woods. Not all woods bend good with heat, but most do, particularly white woods. Shaking up some teak oil. Using teak oil because it's what I've got. Again, spear guns. Okay, it is super glue time. Our teak oil is dry. It is beautiful as is. Nice drizzle, not too much. The nice thing about it being cold is your super glue does not take off on you. It does not settle or set too quickly. You've got lots of time to push it around. And we're done. Let this dry a bit. Take the gloves off quick so that it doesn't burn the eyes. And we're gonna sand that down with 400, then 1,000. Then we'll hit it with a couple of coats of spray paint. She'll be beautiful. We'll band her up tomorrow and see if we can't put some meat on the table. All right, what's up? We are back. We have our birch frame, super glued, sanded. It's got teak caps on there, and it has been buffed out to a pretty decent gloss finish. As you can see, it's got some layback in it, which is nice. Fits in the hand good. 4 inches end to end. Now we're gonna band it. We'll see if we can't use it to hunt today. It is 4 degrees above zero. So today we are using GZK Green 0.73, I think, or 0.75. Something in there. Here we go. Making bands is not a complex process, but it does require some tools. Cutting mat. It's not covered in sawdust. Band material, ruler, rolly cutter. Roll out some banding. I like to cut mine at 8 inches. Because I make 6.5-inch bands, and that gives me plenty of slop for knots and things when I tie, and fold overs on the pouch end, and so on and so forth. All right. Gonna do a 23/18 taper on these ones. That's obviously millimeters, so I take this here, measure out to 20, 1, 2, 3, boom, and then go over from the center of that dot to 18, boom. And on this one, we're gonna do that backwards. We're gonna go 20, we already did 23 up there, we're gonna do 18 here. Go from the center of that dot to 23, 21, 2, 3, boom. All right. Now you take your ruler, your rolly cutter, and you just line up your dots. Hold the ruler down in 3 places so it doesn't buckle on you or move. Make sure your fingers are out of the cutting wheel because that is razor sharp. One. Two. And that can be put away for later. There we go. We got our strips cut. Next tool we need is this very fancy band tying jig. As you can see, this is 2 nails that are pounded in. One of them has had the head clipped off of it. And just a little squeezy clamp. We're going to take pouch, take this, and I just pinch it in my finger and roll it. Put it through, fold it over, so that when I'm getting ready to tie, it looks something like that. Clamp that in here, squeeze it good, stretch it out and put that center hole on my nail. I find that that gives me just the right amount of stretch. I go 1. That first one's a little bit loose. And I pull good and tight on the second one, on the third one, and on the fourth one. I finish it up with a square knot. Right over left. Yep. Left over right. Pull her fairly tight. Clip it off. trim that excess off, give it a tug, on to the next. Repeat that process on this side. People ask me what I use for this all the time. This is a roll of the Slingshot, just like band tying tape. I like that a lot. Works quite well. Next, we're going to mark out our active length. You just watch me put together this band set. Nothing real fancy or complex about that. Couple of measurements, couple of cuts, a little bit of tying. Now, I've already got my cutting mat marked out. As you can see right here, I have a little line that's 6.5 inches from here. So I take my pouch and I put it, the ball side of my pouch up, and I just kind of flatten that out a little bit. Then I mark on this line. I usually give it 1 dot. There we go. Okay, we do the other side. Put this on the 6.5 inch line. My active is 6.5 inches, so this gets 1 dot right there. And again, this is the ball side of my pouch. The ball is going to sit right there. You got to make sure that you mark on the ball side of your pouch. Let's do some tying. I don't know, I use 10, 11 inches of stuff. I end up cutting a bunch off, but I like my laybacks to lay back. So it's going to be like this. And I will put that dot right on the tip like that. Right on the tip. And a bunch of people ask like how wide your tip should be. And I'm going to tell you that it doesn't really matter much at all. I have a bunch of overhang. Like, these are 17 millimeter tips, and I'm about to put on 23 millimeter band ends here. So they'll wrap around, and I honestly prefer when the bands wrap around a little bit. That way, when you draw it back, they line up easier with the tip of the fork. And you get a clearer sight picture, making aiming more efficient and easier. So as you can see, I've just got it on there. It's just wrap and tuck. I'm just wrapping it in the string grooves. I like to give it 5, but again, that's an arbitrary number. You can do it in 3, you can do it in 4, you can do it in 6, whatever. So I do it in 5, and then I take this little tab here that's down, and I flip it up. I just roll that up, and I tie over the top of it, keeping everything in the band grooves. I'm going to give that 1, 2, 3, hold that with my finger, take one of these little doohickeys, or another piece of string or whatever, something, thumbnail, wrap over it once, pull that good and tight, twice, pull that good and tight, and then I hold it, tuck it through there, and pull the excess through. Clip that off and use that the next time I got a band set to tie. Do the same on the other side. Banded. I'll take a little spit and just rub off my 6.5 inch marks. There we go. Banded up slingshot. As you can see when I pull this back, right? This is the fork that I'm aiming off of. When I pull this back, there's a ton of overlap. Look at how much it's wrapped around that fork. That's just fine. That's nothing to worry about there. That'll shoot beautifully. I'm gonna take a couple of tune-up shots and then let's go see if we can't put some meat on the table. Stay tuned. Here's a look at it in real light. That's not my terrible shop lighting. As you can see, that natural came out beautiful. Love it when I find a good fork like that. Don't move. Got him. Good boy, Salty. Got him.
Oh, you got him. I was gonna say, did you shoot him right in the eyeball?
No, not in the eyeball, not this one.
God, he hasn't ever tucked at all.
Yeah, you did a great job.
Yeah. And under the foot. Whoa. Push.
Love it when a plan comes together. That's 2318 GZK green, 0.75. Shooting 11mm steel, birch natural with teak caps, snowshoe hair, hit just underneath the ear, and Salty finished up. It's a good looking bunny. It's a good looking flip. Very symmetrical for a natural. You watch me build this, you watch me band this, you watch me shoot this, and harvest this beautiful bunny with the help of Salty Dog, who's always coming through in the clutch, and my son, who's my best hunting partner. Stay tuned for more. If you've made it this far, like, comment, subscribe. Stay safe out there. I'll see you in the woods.